I'm Pragati Chauhan, and today we'll learn the topic nested for loops. So, the word nested defining in itself, nested loops are the conditions in which we have a given loop, and inside that loop, there is another loop available. As I have written in the example here, for I in range 1 to 6 is the loop, and inside that loop, there is another loop that is for j in range 1 to 4. And print statement is written here just for the printing the possible output. Now in the given code, for I in range 1 to 6 is the outer loop which will run for the 5 times and take the value from 1 till the value of 5. Now for j in range 1 to 4 is the inner loop which will run for the 3 times and take the value from 1 up to the value of 3. And print statement is just to print the values of I and j. Now we'll see the line by line execution of this code. Now, in the given code, for I in range 1 to 6 is the outer loop, in which variable I will take the value from 1 up to the value of 5. Since 6 is the stopping value, so 6 won't be included in the I. So that loop will run till the value of 5, and inside that loop there is another loop written, and that is for j in range 1 to 4. That means for each and every value of I we have to execute this code. That means for the first time when I will take the value as 1, we have to run this loop also. Now for the first time j will take the value as 1 and the output will print as 1 and 1. Then j will take the value as 2 and output will run print as 1 and 2. Then j will take the value as 3 and output will be 1 and 3. Now since this loop is being completed, so the variable I will change its value to 2. Now for the I equals to 2, we have to again execute this line, that loop will run again. So for I equals to 2, j will first take as value 1 and output will be 2 and 1. Then j will take the value as 2 and output will be 2 and 2. Then same for the j equals to 3 and output will be 2 and 3. Then again this loop is being completed, so I will change its value to 3, and this process will goes on till the value of 5. For I equals to 3, the output will be 3 1 3 2 3 3. For same for the I equals to 4, the output will be 4 1 4 2 4 3. And then same for the I equals to 5. Now we'll see the how is this code really going to work in the coding part. So let's start with the coding part. In the coding part, our first line of code was for I in range 1 to 6. That means the value I will take the value as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And when we'll write print I, we can see that here the variable I have taken the value as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now for each and every value of I, we have to execute another loop that was for j in range 1 to 4. That means the variable will also take the value as 1, 2 and 3, and that will be for the each and every value of I. So, and when we'll write print I and j, we can see that we'll get our output as 1 1 1 2 1 3. That means for I equals to 1, there is another loop being executed, that is for j in range 1 to 4, and here the variable j has changed its value for the 3 times, that is 1 2 and 3. And so that means we have got output as 1 1 1 2 1 3, and then the value of I is being changed, that is changed to 2, then the output becomes 2 1 2 2 2 3. Then same for the I equals to 3 and I equals to 4 and I equals to 5. Now we can do one more interesting thing, is that we can increase readability of this code by using f string. For f string we'll write f, then the string, then the I equals to, we'll use curly braces, then we'll write I, and then what we can do is that we can write and, then j equals to, we can write j, and we have to close the string again. And since we are getting all the output just in a GPU of second, for that we can write time dot sleep. That function will just create the gap before printing the next line, and whatever time gap we want to take before printing the next line, we can write it. Here we have taken the time as 1 second, and we can do one more thing is that we can print a line before the value of I will change. So we can simply write print and use parenthesis. Now we can see that for I equals to 1, we have got the value of j as 1, 2 and 3. Then same for I equals to j, we have got the value as 1, 2, 3. Then same for I equals to 3, I equals to 4 and I equals to 5. And here whatever we have did for the second time, that was for better readability of the code, so that makes the better understanding. Now let's move forward. Our next type of questions are printing patterns. In the printing patterns, our first pattern will be the printing rectangle. For printing rectangle, I have printed a rectangle here with the help of these stars, and here you can see that I have printed 5 stars in 3 different lines, and that is creating a shape of rectangle. So for creating a shape of rectangle, our first task is to that we have to create 3 lines, and in each 3 line we have to print 1 star. Then we'll convert that single star to the 5 star. So for that we can use a variable named line, and that will take the value as 3. And for each value of I, we can add a star, and for that we can use a loop for I in range 1 to, for I in range line, sorry, for I in range line. So that means the here the value of I will be 0, 1 and 2, because 3 is the stopping value, 3 won't be included here. So here the value of I will be 0, 1 and 2, and for the each 3 time we want to print a star. For that we can write print, then this string, then this star, and when we'll execute this code we can see that for the 3 values of I, we have got 3 stars in 3 different lines. So our first task is being completed. Now our next task is that instead of printing single star in 3 different lines, we have to print 5 star in 3 different lines. For that we can use nested for loop, but we can do that with another method. We have added 1 star, that's why that is printing 1 star in 3 different lines, but we want to print 5 star in 3 different lines. So instead of giving 1 star, we can give 5 star here, so that will print 5 star in 3 different lines. That will print 5 star in 3 different lines. And when we'll execute this code, we can see that here we have got that is printing 5 star in 3 different lines. And for the each value of I, that is for I equals to 0, that it will print 5 star in first line. For I equals to 1, that will print 5 star in second line. Then for I equals to 2, that will print 5 star in third line. So that's how that code is being executed. But have you ever think that what if we have to print 1 star for the first line, then 2 star for the second line, then 3 star for the third line? In that case, we can't give any specific string here. So our next type of question is that we have to print a triangle with the help of a star. That means we have to print 1 star for the first line, then 2 for the second line, then 3 for the third line. So how can we do? Our first task will be same, that we have to print 3 different stars in 3 different lines. So for that we need to define a variable named line, that will say the 3. Then for each and every value of I, we have to print 3 stars. So here I have written for I in range line. That means that here the value of I will be 0, 1 and 2. And for each value of I, we want to print a star. So for that we'll write print a star. And when we'll run this code, we can see that here we have got three different stars in three different lines. Now, here for I equals to 0, we have to print a single star. Then for I equals to 1, we have to print 2 star. Then for I equals to 2, we have to print 3 stars. That means whatever the value of I is, we have to print 1 star more than that. So for that we can use nested for loop. So for nested for loop, we'll write for j in range, and whatever the value of I, we can add one more than that. And when we'll run this code, what that code will do, whenever the value of I will be 0, of the second line of the code will say for j in range I plus 1. That means for I equals to 0, the value of j is taking the range as 1. So here the value of j will be 0, and that will print the single star. Then the value of I will change. That time the value of I will be 1, and that time the value of j will be 0 and 1, because we have added 1 here. So that's why the value of j will be 0 and 1. For j equals to 0, that will print 1 star. Then for j equals to 1, that will print another star. So that means for I equals to 1, we have printed 2 star. Then the value of I will change to 2, and then the value of j will be 0, 1 and 2. And for I equals to 0, that will print 1 star. Then for I equals to 1, that will print 1 star. Then for I equals to 2, that will print a star. That means for I equals to 2, that has printed 3 stars. Now since we want to print all these 3 stars in the single line, for that we need to write AND function. So that's why we have added and we need to add a line also, because whenever the inner loop will be executed, we need to change the line. And when we'll run this code, we can see that here we have got our desired output, that is printing triangle. So now let's again summarize the whole code. For the printing rectangles, we have used the single loop, and with the single loop, we have given 5 stars in a string, and for whatever the value of I, that has printed the 3 star in the 3 different lines. Now, but printing triangle, we have to print 1 star for the first line, then 2 for the second, then 3 for the third line. For that, we have used a loop that will take the value as 0, 1 and 2. And for each and every value of I, we have used another loop that is printing different stars in the different line. So that's about the printing patterns. Now, if you want to practice such more questions, you can go in the description box and check for the link and practice more questions like this. Hope you enjoyed this video and find this knowledgeable.